Hey, Warrior Kids. Day two. Again, I'm gonna check, make sure this is recording. It says it is. I'm sure it is. Uh, how are we doing? Yeah, day two. Filled maybe with lots of emotions or potentially looking at, and I mean in this way, not from in here, but like, oh, isn't that curious about my childhood? I wonder how that has maybe navigated or pushed me on a certain path in my life, path towards certain kinds of relationships, path away from other kinds of relationships, looking around maybe how I organize my life, and was my life or is my life right now organized how I want it to from a choice, or is it protective ways that we organize our life? And that is necessary, and especially if we've had a lot of childhood trauma, to survive. And then that translates and looks like different things as we become adults. That can be a difficult discovery process, but I think one that is necessary. And that's what we do on our mats, right? This discovery process on our mats on how have we organized ourselves in this protective way, possibly. What do we need to hold on to right now today, especially in the world that we live in? What's helping us get through this in a positive way, but with a lot of awareness? When you come at it with awareness, then it really doesn't do harm. And I'll say that a careful way. It doesn't do harm as in we're not going to keep on perpetrating this. Anytime you do something unconsciously, it just stays wired in us, right? So looking at it in this contemplative way brings it to the surface, brings it from that which is within us to that which we have some sort of awareness of and control over, possibly. That's what we're going to try to do on the mat a little bit today. So be not afraid. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure you have a couple of blocks. If you want to use oil, right? Oils are always wonderful to use if you like them. We want to reach into the brain somehow, get past the frontal lobe, get past that cognitive executive functioning that we think of as who we are, those thoughts. We have to go back to that primal brain, right? We want to get into the limbic emotional brain and the primal brain where there are thoughts, but not in the way we think of them, right? And we can see the language of that brain in our movement patterns. And that's what we're going to learn to explore a little bit today. Probably do the psoas release at the end and maybe a new one with the guppy release. So we'll see how far we get. All right, so coming on to our backs again, keep the blocks handy, keep the blocks handy. Once again, using the body, getting out of our minds, we're gonna drop into the ocean of our bodies. Lots of nature references today, especially trees. Started it with a class yesterday, let's continue today. I want you to imagine a tree in your mind's eye. Now remember, this is Bhavana emotional imagery. So make it the most beautiful tree you can quite imagine. It doesn't even have to be a real one. It can be an imaginary one. It can be the most beautiful one that your mind can come up with right now. And if not, let's go with a pine tree or a apple tree or an oak tree or a big redwood tree, right? Sometimes the mind has trouble being creative if we've had a lot of trauma. You're like, say, Shays, think of a tree. Easy for you to say. So, you know, maybe a redwood. We know what those look like. Those big, strong trees. Let's think of those. Something that can model for us, maybe a quality that we don't have yet or we want more of. And I'm always wanting more calm strength. I need some work in that area. So let's do this work together. We're going to bring our hands to our thighs to start with. Just feeling the thighs, the palms of the hands. Of course, noticing the breath. Can we allow and distribute energy, awareness, consciousness to travel down into our legs a little bit more intentionally? Turning to the breath, of course, and allow it to help us to navigate to calmer waters. And a useful analogy in nature for the belly is water, is a body of water. The ocean or your favorite clear lake or whatever your favorite body of water is. Let's just take a nice deep breath and think of those calm, clear, deep waters in the belly. See if we can find that feeling there. Of course, that's where our umbilical cord was attached when we were in the womb being fed, when we were growing without anybody helping us grow. We just did, right? Because all of that's programmed within us. Growth, creative growth, magical growth. This being human is magical. And that was started a long time, right? Before we had a mind to tell our bodies to do stuff. Now the body, we just have to trust that it knows how to heal those old wounds. It knows how to move back and shift back into that more creative, dynamic, evolutionary place of being. We can find that here today. Just a little bit more. We need it for sure today. Let's go ahead and start to gently press one hand into one thigh. So I'm pressing my right hand into my right thigh as I press my right foot away. Continue to find the breath. Continue to have that imagery of the tree and send the root systems down of that tree, down through the belly, the pelvic floor, down through the legs. And then we're just going to alternate kneading. That's K-N-E-A-D, kneading the other hand, nice and slow. So just continue to press one hand to one thigh, press maybe that same foot, press the mat away with that foot, and then switching to the other leg, foot, just gently tilling the soil here of the pelvic floor. Can you relax more through the pelvic floor, that heavy feeling, right? Those deep ocean waters there, and feel that gentle steering wheel kind of pull around the sacrum. Trying to bring ourselves back into our bodies, and really importantly in these classes, and trauma informed, and this is for adults or kids, more into this calm strength through the legs. We tend to disconnect from there. We tend to unplug through the legs, so this helps us. And then one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and take both hands, find the palms of the hands and find the tops of the hip bones. We're just going to slide across those hip flexors where we hold those unconscious defensive patterns, tensions right there. That's where the psoas kind of surfaces. Yeah, I know we call it a hip flexor, but it's really that lower psoas line. And then really press the feet into the mat, press the mat away with the feet. Feel that gentle pull of the sacrum, kind of hovering the sacrum off the mat as the tailbone pulls up, the low back gently stays to the mat. And then just releasing the hands here. Let's go ahead and start to rock. We're going to press the tailbone into the mat, and we're going to arc the belly strongly up to the ceiling. So arc the low belly, the low back. And then we're going to rock over the sacrum here as we press the mat away with the feet a little bit. And we pull our animal tail into the body, and we feel the low back press. And again, let's rock back over, press the tailbone down, really arc the low belly, the low back away from the floor. And then again, back over the top. And then let's go ahead and pause. And now we're going to go ahead and rock over to the right side of the sacrum, using the pelvic floor muscles and awareness there, right? And then over to the left. So I call it the east and the west. We just did the north and the south of the sacrum. Now we're going east and west. And now if you got that, you're fine to stay there in those two movements, or going in a circle if we can. Let the legs follow what the sacrum wants it to do, and the belly. So we're shifting out of limb-driven movement. That's old implicit defensive patterns of movement, by the way. Limbs are really sympathetic nervous system creatures, if you will. And going into letting the belly, the pelvic floor, this dynamic creative point of access for us here to recreate or to move into that more creative place of being. That is our birthright. You got one direction, you go the other direction. And just noticing that churning kind of feeling, maybe in the belly, the legs, again, doing whatever they need to do to follow this movement. You can get real creative with it. And then let's just go ahead and pause. Let's go ahead and take our block. Let's find it between our thighs. And so in the belly of the thighs, so just start to awaken that those deeper muscles attached below the adductors, deep in the inner thighs, comes up, surfaces, of course, across the hip flexor, across the pelvic floor called the iliacus, and then becomes a psoas, right, up through the diaphragm, all of that. So as we squeeze the block, before we do that, or I should say before we start to move, let's take our hands, make an L shape. Let's find where our rib cage ends, lower in the body. As we continue to find our breath, let's see if we can shift and find a more diaphragmatic lateral breath here. So let's see if we can expand the hands, right where the hands are. So breathing out to the side body. A little trick, let the exhale be a little bit longer. Feel the rib cage come in, collapse even more, kind of like an umbrella closing there. Pause the breath maybe. Inhaling, expanding the side seams of your shirt. That diaphragm moves just like an accordion there. Exhaling, lengthening the exhale out, deepening this feeling of self, really deep into the essence of who we are, right through the center channel, right through the spine. And again, inhaling, lateral breath. Can you keep the chest still, the shoulders still? Exhaling all the way down, letting it go, keeping the face, the jaws, the eyes really soft here. and then releasing. So we want to keep that approach. When we come up to bridge, I'm going to cue that again. Of course, we won't have the hands. Now, when I move up into bridge, I choose either to have palms up or down. That's your choice. I like my palms up because I like to keep my shoulders open, right? This whole thing, we have to keep the palms down. We don't have to keep the palms down, but whatever makes you feel good. And then let's go ahead and just lift our toes up before we do anything. Literally squeeze the toes, wiggle the toes, activate that energetic awareness through the toes, and then lay the toes, the feet really heavy into the mat. Now start to press the mat away. Just slowly start to peel the tailbone, the sacrum, hovering the hips up into the air, and then into an effortless bridge. It doesn't have to be very high, neutral bridge. We want to think about pressing the block down to the mat, so inner thigh rotation. Maybe walk the shoulders underneath, clear the neck, make sure the neck is curved away. So you don't want to really be turning to look at the screen here. If you can, just listen. Let's breathe the front of the thighs nice and long. On the exhale, press down through the feet, feel the rebound up through the legs. Let's see if we can unclench the glutes, right? The deep sits bones, unclench them, feel the hip bones hug together. So we're practicing calm strength. Now the real trick is, can we find that lateral breath, diaphragmatic breathing, expanding our breath to the side body? Can you soften through the front of the shoulders, soften down all the way, even into the palms, to the thumbs, the back of the neck, the head. Take a few more deep belly, ocean belly breaths, lateral breaths, finding a different way to be here. We're wanting to create a new map of being here, right? We're trying to reprogram ourselves, get into that primal brain. It should feel different. If it feels different, we're on the right track. Calm, strength. Can you imagine the tree now? Can you bring that imagery of the tree from the mind into the body? The legs are the deep root system of our tree of ourself. We can see the tree trunk up through our spine, and then the canopy of the branches expanding, right? The top of the tree blossoming out through our heart, up through our face. We can feel the sunlight on our face. And then slowly shifting awareness to this top of the spine. This should feel super good from that holding all the way down, laying the spine down, just like a ribbon onto the mat. Let's go ahead and move the block to the side. Definitely keep it handy. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. That same thing we did at the beginning with the bridge. Let's bring the palms of the hands to the tops of the thighs. And we're just gonna gently slide across, finding the hip creases. We'll just alternate, same thing we started with, kneading one hand and then the other. This kind of gentle butterfly movement here through the legs, side to side. Again, the hips, the inner thighs especially, a different material there, energetic. Definitely an emotional material there, so it has a different feeling. What message is it telling you today? What patterns is it willing to explore, allow you in just a little bit? Just like a scared animal dog, you never want to yell at it or force it. You got to coax it. You've got to say, hey, everything's okay. It's going to be all right. Nothing to be scared of here. Let's just have a new kind of discussion with ourselves, new language. And then releasing one more time. Let's go ahead and find the block. We're going to lift the knees up. Let's go ahead and actually keep the block, put it back down for just a second. Let's do one thing first. 2 fingers, let's find the hip bones. We're gonna let the shins dangle here. Let just the feet go. In fact, we can point flex the feet, roll the ankles around, squeeze open the toes, and then let them go. Fingertips to the hip bones. If you need to reset here through the hips, wiggle them away just a little bit. We're gonna do gentle toe taps. So we're gonna start with the right side. Very slowly, as you draw the fingertips to the inner part of the hip creases and the pelvic floor, that's what iliacus is. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. We've got to explore what's happening through the front of the shoulders. It starts to pull in. That's an unconscious, implicit defensive program, right? Oh, I got to close in. No, no, no. Let's see if we can stay open. Catch it before it happens. We're going to slowly toe tap the right toes towards the ground. As we keep the low belly quiet, the low back doesn't get more arched away, or we don't start to grip in the low back. Now, if our toe got to the mat, great. And if it didn't, great. We're going to stop anywhere we feel those compensation patterns in the low belly, the low back. We're just going to switch sides. Again, we're trying to catch ourselves in our own habits of movement. It's hard to do. So you got to go slow. Again, low belly, low back, useful places, gripping right here in front of the shoulder head or along the sides of the neck, the jaws, anything for the tops of the shoulders, basically up, right? Heat rises, that's where it goes. But it starts deep in the low belly. Again, very slow, calm, alternating, tapping the toes. Back of my neck, right at my occipital ridge, I can feel that starting to tension or starting to tighten and create tension there. Just notice where are your tension patterns? right? Trying to make this beautiful self-discovery here. So nice and slow. You may start to feel some deep fatigue in the hips. That's okay. We're going to rest right about now. Enough is enough. Let's go ahead and bring the feet mat width apart before we do our final thing here. Arms out to the side and just gentle windshield wipers softly side to side. How fast can we move to a relaxed posture in the belly? Can we let go of any tension there? Noticing it first, awareness is key, and then intentionally letting it go. I like the imagery, kind of like warm, soft taffy, right? Just letting the belly be nice and fluid, right? The ocean waters there, nice and warm, soft, gentle lulling of the waves there in the belly. The legs follow that lead. And then let's go ahead and take the block between the thighs. So a little different here, arms out to the side, cactus arms, palms open. We want to stay really relaxed from behind the heart. This spreading of relaxing, right? Obviously, like kind of like butterfly wings out here, really soft. And then this is where we're trying to find strength here through the legs. The belly is really a critical, crucial juncture where we couple tension unconsciously. So if you feel any kind of that gripping, back to that low belly, low back awareness, any compensation there, just come out of what we're doing, because we're going to do this belly twisting posture here to come out of it. But we have to set this up right back to that deep root system through the legs, the strong but relaxed trunk, and then expanded canopy of the leaves, of the branches, up through the heart, through the head. And then slowly, as we squeeze the block, press it away a little bit, flex the feet so the knees are 90 degrees, feet, knees, hips stay parallel as we rock the knees over to the left, keeping the right rib cage soft and relaxed as we turn our head gently to the right. We don't need to go very far to find this pattern. Inhale back through center, reset. What's happening to your thumbs? Can we stay relaxed there? Exhale the other direction, maybe over to the right. The left rib cage stays completely relaxed. So does the left shoulder. None of that changes. Inhale through center, heavy feeling across the sacrum. Exhale over to the left, maybe turning the head to the right. Again, nothing changes through the shoulders, the head. If it does, you catch it. Slowly side to side, constantly scanning for these tension patterns. Staying with the breath, noticing, have my feet come together? Have I changed any relationship between the legs? They got to stay parallel. I know the inner thighs are cooking. That's supposed to happen. Calm strength. We're practicing calm strength. Different way to move through this earth, on this planet, in our relationships, in our life, not just on the mat. There's big stuff that translates here. Really important. And then slowly back through center. Let's go ahead and move the block to the side. Again, keep it handy. Let's go ahead and hug the right knee into the chest, extend the left leg long, maybe curling up. You don't have to. That's an exhale, moving with our vinyasa breath, right? So we're going to inhale, extend the limbs long. Option, keep the knees bent. Reach to the heels so the back body grows strong and long. Exhaling, left knee hugs in. Option to curl up, back to that caterpillar feeling through the spine. Moving with the breath. If you want to add an ujjayi breath, you can. That's our Darth Vader vagal nerve breathing, right? Breathing as if we have two straws stuck into our nose. Fanning the toes, feel the air between the toes, right? That kinesthetic awareness, so important to the lower part of the body. Allowing the breath to lead us to new lands, new places of awareness, this new map. The breath is going to be the thing that takes us there, that helps to create it, and then tag it in the mind so we can find it later, like leaving breadcrumb trails everywhere we bring our awareness through the body, right? That's a breadcrumb trail. We can find this place, this feeling in our lives when we need to. Wait a minute, I know what calm strength feels like. I know, I remember, I can turn to my breath. The breath got me to that place. It will lead me there in uncomfortable situations. And then finally, both knees hugging in. Exhaling deeply. Let the back just find its way deeper into the earth. This sense of grounding, heaviness, being supported by the earth, cared for, protected, loved. And then let's go ahead and roll to all fours. So as we come to all fours, we're just moving differently, the spine differently here with gravity. And we're going to move into spinal balance, right? So as we find our spinal balance, let's first start by grounding through the hands. Remember, the options is fist for wrist, always. Check in with the head. Our closest relative in the reptile world in that phylogenetic chart is a turtle. And so always can we have that same feeling here. And as we stay grounded through the hands, we're going to go ahead and rock side to side, back to just what we did yesterday, that elephant rocking, just so we can turn on the vestibular proprioception. Maybe we can go in a circle here, just something different, non-linear, right? Getting out of our heads, more into our bodies. Finding that circular pattern helps. Can you keep the hands grounded though? Can you have that heavy feeling still through the hips, the legs, the arms? Keeping the tops of the shoulders, the neck, the face, everything relaxed. Maybe go the other direction. Let the belly be soft and relaxed. Moving in a different way. And then let's just pause. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg, tucking the toes onto the mat behind us. We're gonna rock forward and back a little bit, nice and slow. Just feeling the difference. Shifting into the front, to the back now, find neutral and extend strongly through this inner right thigh. So as we breathe the inner right thigh nice and long, keeping the toe tucked, let's firm the front of the thigh, and then finding imaginary inner thigh, or I should say strings attached to the inner right thigh, slowly lift the right leg up, right? Keeping the hip bones really parallel, reaching long through the inner right thigh. Now we're gonna stabilize. So think of it, this diagonal connection from the right hand to the left knee, like we're pulling a string there really taut. If we can find that, maybe extending the left arm, palm turned up, maybe shake the left hand out. If you can see that in the video, right? Who needs to see my hand and my foot anyway? You guys can feel that. And then let's just gently pull. Now we have a string attached from the left shoulder to the right hip. We're pulling that long. I know this is challenging. We're trying to poke the tiger just a little bit here. Nice deep breath, breathing the sides of the spine, super long away from each other. The diagonal pull across the spine, energizing, innervating the spine in a different way. And then we're going to go ahead and slowly release. Maybe find a cat pose here, your choice. Maybe find a cow. Really relax through the heart, the chest, really soft through the neck. One more time, maybe cat cow. Of course, you can always find child's pose. We will find that here together in just a minute. And then we find neutral. And then rocking again, side to side. And then let's go ahead and pause. We're going to extend the left leg back, tucking the toes. Again, same thing on this side. We can rock forward and back a little bit. Kind of helps from getting too coupled rigid from the belly, right? We can distribute that energy like you shake water side to side. Right now, it's kind of distributed more evenly through the body. Then we really pull, so firm, just pull the left shin bone in, pull the inner left thigh long, the front of the left thigh long. So the hip bones stay parallel here. The sacrum stays nice and open. Again, stabilizing with the left hand to the right knee as we lift the left leg, find those imaginary strings, really flexing the left foot down. Outer left hip rotates down. Let's take the fingers of our right hand, find the low belly, gently suck them in. So we're going to stabilize here, calm strength. But neck, still turtle-like. Right arm lifts, shake the right hand out again, pull, calm strength. Use your breath to regulate yourself back to this place of gentle awareness. If we can't find that place, we have to come out of it. That's also a really effective action to take, is when we choose to come out before we move into those reactive patterns. Instead of reinforcing them, we make a different decision. Ujjayi breath is really helpful here. And then again, slowly releasing. I know that was challenging. Back to cat cow a little bit. Nice and slow. Let the breath lead the way. Now, one more time, spinal balance. This time right away, let's lift the left leg and the right, the left arm and the right leg, but this time diagonally. So the right foot goes to the right corner, left hand goes to the left corner. As we lift, we're gonna pull long, but out to the side. So a little different here, again, non-linear. And then very calmly, we're gonna start to swish. Think of a fish kind of swishing through the water here. Our tail, our head kind of swishing in front of us, clearing the water, and then back behind us like a rudder. Nice and slow. Can you feel the movement? Both the left arm and the right leg move, really emanate from the waist, really from the spine, deep in the waist. So this gentle swishing side to side as if swimming through water. Maybe imagery of a beautiful fish kind of swimming here, nice and easy. And then again, releasing, we're just gonna right away switch sides. So the left leg, the right hand. Again, calmly lifting out of the left arm, the right arm, left leg pulling diagonally. Staying lifted calmly out of the left shoulder, check in with the head, and then when we're ready, slowly swishing. Nice and slow. You can keep the right elbow really soft and relaxed. Notice any kind of tension, especially up through the jaws. We're going to do the guppy release here in a little bit. It's going to feel so good, but that's where we put a lot of our unconscious tension patterns, not just down through the hips and the legs, but up through the jaws. And of course, releasing child's pose, knees as wide as comfortable, dropping through our hips. If you want, use a block. You can also have the hips high, by the way, tucking the toes. If any reason that bothers your knees, your ankles, that's always an option. We're just gonna rock side to side here. So there's a whole back line of tension, and we can kind of feel that back line of tension right here across the brow. That's where it ends. That's where the ending is for that myofascial connective tissue line. Like a ribbon around a present that's just pulled too tight. So it's pulled tight and long, and boy, can we feel it here now, right? I'm not worried, I'm not anxious, I'm good. No, nope, there it is. It's all good, just noticing it. We have every right to be. Let's let it go for just right now. And then just pausing for just a minute, allow the forehead to just melt onto the block. Remember the imagery of the tree, remember the words calm, strength. Come back to that as often as you can in your practice, right? We're trying to re-narrate our movement patterns. It's very helpful to have both imagery and words associated with it, right? That gets to all three parts. We have the movement, we have the emotional feeling about it, and then we have a name. Ooh, that's really good stuff to map the mind really broadly, right? So, wow, yay yoga, all the science is right there in all these practices. When we're ready, let's go ahead and release. We're gonna come up and we're just gonna come through our kneeling plank. So walking the hands out, inhaling, shifting forward to kneeling plank. Exhale, let's lower onto our bellies, nice and slow. Walking the hip bones back a little bit, top of the feet press. Reaching energetically through the legs, pressing to the top of the feet. Let's find that slow cobra. Connecting deeply into the belly here. That's an inhale, shoulders, neck, stay nice and relaxed. On the exhale, we're gonna lower our forehead, heavy towards the mat, belly relaxes, thighs are heavy. Let's do that 2 more times. Again, inhaling, maybe start to pull the mat back with the hands a little bit. Draw the shoulder blades down, still turtle-like head here. That's an inhale. When we're ready, floating the spine back to the earth, the chest, the forehead moves towards the earth, the jaws relax. One more time, inhaling into our cobra, option to just let the feet float. Fan the toes, calm, strength here, neck relax. Again, finding more back body strength. We're gonna need a lot of that here. Reaching down into the kidneys, rinsing those out, getting some of the, that adrenal fatigue out of us here. And let's go ahead and release. We're gonna stack our hands, let's bend our knees, roll the ankles around. Just rock the hips side to side. Let the breath drop deep into the belly. Heavy feeling through the legs. Can you feel that gentle swaying action around the sacrum, calming our nervous system? And then releasing the legs nice and long. Hands are going to be on either side. Again, knees down, maybe back into that alligator pull forward, scoop the belly, inhaling back up through kneeling plank, exhaling extended child's pose. Take a big breath here, scoop the belly a little bit, inhale, float the belly off the thighs, breathing laterally. It's the exhale where we're gonna get a lot of traction and drop the breath, feel the sacrum move back, tailbone drop down, arms hug in, neck relaxes. And again, big inhale, lateral breath. Can you find the side lungs? Nice, big, long, extended exhale all the way down. The next inhale, we're gonna bring our right foot forward, coming into our kneeling lunge. Feel free to have your blocks on either side if you want. As we pause here, let's see if we can extend more energy into the top of the back foot. Feel free to pad your knee. Feel free to lift your back knee up. That's always an option if you can find that that's just easier, feels better. Tough with the kneeling lunges, I know, can be a little tough. Let's take our right hand, palm of the right hand, it's gonna root down. We're gonna melt the left hip forward instead of pushing the left hip forward, which can elicit those sympathetic nervous system responses. We wanna think about, oh, let's just relax the left hip forward, right? Somewhat differently here. We're gonna take our left hand and we're gonna bring it in front of our face and we're gonna undo our vision right in front of it. So that drishti, soft, childlike view of our hands, right? Just like a baby discovering itself for the first time. Let's go ahead and slowly take our left hand up as we keep our gaze. Inhaling, keeping the left hip relaxed forward. Nice big breath here. On the exhale, we're going to slowly let the left hand come back down. Never lose the vision. I know it'll be a little challenging. You feel a little unsteady. That's normal. As you bring the left hand back behind, imagine kind of scooping water with the left hand. Inhale, slowly bringing it up. Exhaling. And by the way, if that's just too much, you don't have to lift it very high. Practicing staying balanced, calm through the legs. As we say, soft through our vision instead of moving into that hypervigilant, hardened vision. One more time. Exhaling, bringing it down. I know it's challenging. Hang in there. One more time. Inhaling. Now relaxing. Let's go ahead and turn our gaze down, right? So we can look down over the right shoulder just a little bit. Breathing this left side nice and long. Pinky side of the left hand rotates back. Keep the thumb relaxed. One more deep breath here. Inhaling. Exhaling, slowly release. Let's go ahead and find a gentle twist. Now, remember that diagonal thing we did in spinal balance? So now let's go diagonal off our mats here in the twist, just something different. You can even open up this right foot, take the right hand to the inner right thigh, just gently twist from the belly, shoulders, neck, everything nice and relaxed. Breathing just a nice big breath just into the right lung, inhaling. Big exhale, feel the belly, the spine release without effort. One more time. And then slowly coming back through center, we're gonna shift the hips back, peeling the right foot off the mat. So you may need to walk it out, right? Walk it back into alignment with the right hip. Let's point the right foot to start, feel the difference. And then intentionally peel the right foot off the mat as you keep the right knee bent. Fan the toes. You can gently resist the mat with the heel here and then just softly come forward with us. Instead of pulling the right leg long, let's breathe it long. Inhaling, imagine 1,000 little noses on the back of the right leg, breathing them nice and open. It's really the exhale. Let the exhale pour like water down the right leg. Feel the right leg invite you in. Again, having a different relationship with ourselves. One that isn't judgmental, one that isn't competitive or harsh, those harsh words we say to ourselves. It's soft, it's gentle. The body responds so much to that. It says, oh, finally, I'm so grateful you see me that way. I've been waiting. And then slowly release. Remember that wet dog leg shake we did in down dog? Well, we're going to do it from all fours because why not, right? Shake it out. So much better at home. Can you feel that full vibration? Like you shake a rope, we should feel it from tip to tail into the jaws. That's what we're getting later. Releasing. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes and easy down dog before we come to the other side. Option to just do extended child's pose, right? We're going to flow anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just pedaling it out here, nice and easy. Again, enjoying, right? Finding this sort of play feeling in our practice. And then when we're ready, inhaling to plank, knees down. Option for cat-cow, exhaling chaturanga. Inhaling gentle cobra, maybe locust, as long as the neck, the face, the jaws to stay safe and stay soft, both safe and soft. Relaxing everything again, hugging everything into the midline, calmly scoop the belly, inhaling back up through plank, exhaling extended child's pose. This time maybe coming up just onto the fingertips here. 3 big breaths, finding traction, inhaling, breathing into the side body, exhaling, resist the fingertips. Draw the spine super long. 2 more times. Let the side of the spine breathe you. Find those oxygen tubes. They're right nestled next to the spine, deep in the belly. Bring those to life. Bring yourself back to life. And then when we're ready, left foot coming forward. So we're just going to switch, coming into our kneeling lunge on the other side. Feel free, find your blocks. And again, same thing here. Maybe shift the hip back the right hip back a little bit. And then again, this idea of just relaxing, releasing it forward instead of forcing it. You could even sway a little bit here. My favorite things is just letting that go. And then same thing on this side. You may need to move the block out of the way. Let's take our right hand. Again, let it trail back. Soft, unfocused vision around our right hand. So we learn to, and we're going to do this a few more times, go at your own slow pace. You know, when we start to look at things harshly with our eyes, we know we have a strong narrative, a strong story, a predictive approach to it. We even do that to ourselves when we see ourselves. Can we undo our own sort of implicit bias to ourselves, right? It's just so wired in us. We just assume we have to always be that way. We don't. Can we start here in our vision, even just of our hands? One more time, and then we're just going to gently hold it at the top. Feel free to just bring the hands to the thigh or to the floor right away. This is where we can pause, slowly, carefully turn our gaze down. Make sure that we can relax the shoulders enough to do that. Again, pinky side of the right hand rotates down. Let's find that breathing tube on the right side of the spine here. Find it up to the inner right thigh. Calm strength. Keeping the back of the heart melted, but stay lifted out of the low back. And then slowly release. So the right hand comes down. Feel free to use a block. Feel free to open up on the diagonal or not, right? Choice is really important. Remember, it's not what we do. It's, did you make a conscious decision to do it, or was that implicit programmed I should do it? And so we always want to do it from that point of free will, a choice, a real choice based on how we feel today. Exploring creative opportunities in our practice more, right? Using it as a place where we can color outside the lines a little bit. And again, slowly unwinding through center. We're going to walk our left foot back into alignment with the left hip, maybe out a little bit. Again, we'll start by pushing the pedal down with our left foot and then slowly peeling it as we put more emphasis into the left heel, fan the toes. Remember, it's the breath. Find those nostrils on the back of the left leg. Big inhale. And it's a nice big releasing exhale. The left leg, especially the left hip crease, grows longer. The breath is the primary tool, scalpel, that delivers the most medicine in conjunction with where we put our awareness. Just trust that that will deliver what you need. Any place that we put attention, where attention goes, energy flows, right? So your attention is really important here. Nice deep breath. Keep focusing on the breath. Keep gently scanning the body. Trust. And then again, slowly release. Remember, it's a wet dog leg shake. That's my favorite. Let's just really shake it out here. Shake, 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 shake. You feel the top of the head shaking? Woo, left side is good. All right, back to extended child's pose, wide knee if we want. One more time, forehead to the block. And this time you can rock for just a minute, but then we're going to come back and just let the forehead melt here. Let's find our attention between the brows and go about 2 inches in. That's about where you're going to find the pituitary gland, right? The sense of self there that organizes us unconsciously. Those are where the HPA axis is linked, right? So the pituitary gland and then down to the adrenals and the kidneys. There is a connection there. And there's a connection there in the chakras, right? So we have this chakra and then we have the Manipura chakra. So the Jhana chakra, the Manipura chakra, and it's very much connected. And the Manipura chakra in the belly really is that sense of who I am and personal power and strength. And then here, the wisdom right between the brows, like knowing who I am. And so we look at these reactive patterns that help us really start to see more clearly who we are, how we've been programmed, and then coming out of that program intentionally. And we look at it through those reactive processes that we're starting to notice, right? Through the shoulders, through the jaws. It all comes together very clearly. It's very simple. It's hard to do. Once we start to know it, we start to see it faster. We start to catch it faster, catch it in the act faster, right? Up, like with an animal training, got to catch it in the act faster. That's what we're doing to ourselves, train our own animal self, right? Okay, so that's the place you can put like a little white pen point of light there, 2 inches into the brow. We're going to go back to that place. Arms out nice and long. We're coming back into our downward facing dog. Again, nice and gentle, pedaling it out here. Now, slowly rocking, just like we did on all fours. And by the way, you can go back to all fours if that's more comfortable for you. Keep the knees slightly back. We're just rocking left and right. Notice the difference. And then find a stronger position over to the left side. So rock over to the left. Let's take the right leg. Remember the strings to the end of right thigh. We're going to slowly lift the right leg nice and straight up to the sky. Just keep the hips level. Make sure the right glute is unclenched. Outer right thigh rotates down. Now we're going to go ahead and bring the right leg out to the side a little bit. Doesn't have to go very far. Calmly, kind of playing with testing the sympathetic nervous system arousal. Come back through center. Press into the hands. Get some more length. Exhale, bring the right leg straight back behind. Maybe you can see it underneath. Are there tension patterns happening somewhere? Or are they popping up, right? Inhaling back through center. Exhaling, we're bringing the right knee in and slowly placing it forward. Now, hang with me here. We're going to do something slightly different. You can have the blocks nice and available. We're going to shift our weight into our right leg. The left leg now has fallen asleep on us, right? So it's going to feel different. We're going to have to drag it. You're waking up and your arms like falling asleep, right? It's like, okay, come back to life. This left leg is asleep. We're going to shift our weight into our right leg. Again, blocks might be useful. We're going to do this slow drag from the low belly. Don't let the left leg help you. Just pull it in as far as we can. Go as far as we can. I'm grabbing my blocks. I need a little bit more help. And then as soon as we get as far as we can, then we're going to unweight the left foot, bend the left knee, roll the left ankle around. Now, we're going to pull everything in. Remember that caterpillar pull? Curl, caterpillar, pull in. Actually point the left foot, scoop the belly, curl in as tight as we can. Keep the left foot kind of hanging in the air here. Then press right foot into the mat as we slowly extend the left leg long, standing splits. Doesn't matter how high the left leg goes. Let's move with our breath. Exhaling, bring it in. Can you relax the top of the neck? I should say the top of the shoulder, the neck, the face, everything as we curl in. Inhale, bringing ourselves back to life. Lots of energy here. One more time, exhale, bring it in. Slow, 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 slow. Now we're going to take the left foot and step it behind the right, crisscross applesauce. Different. Really good for that right-left brain horizontal integration, right? Reconnecting ourselves at all levels, reprogramming ourselves. So we go back to that root system. We start to implicit program, become aware of those implicit program. We create new ones. And now we're going to link that right and left brain because we're crossing here through the midline. If this is uncomfortable for your knees or you know it's not going to be good for you, uncross. Just do parallel feet. You can do the same thing here. We're going to bend the knees, carefully walk our hands up to our thighs. Just pause halfway. Pause. Nice deep breath. Coming all the way up. Let's go and take our left arm slowly into there. Remember that lateral flexion we did? Let's take our right hand, find the left wrist. We're just going to relax the left arm. Find the inner left thigh and find a gentle pull out to the left. Tap to the left side of the waist. Keep the left shoulder relaxed. Breathing too becomes super important on the left side of the spine. Slowly coming back through center. Soften the knees, unwind the feet. Inhaling, extended mountain. Exhaling into our chair. Turn the pinkies, sides of the hands back behind us. Rotate, thumbs relaxed. Imagine someone holding your wrist. Imagine shredding them out apart with your feet, scooping the belly. Sits bones back and apart. We can still see our toesies. Thumbs relax. I know this is hard. Maybe sit a little bit lower in our chair. Inhale up to extend a mountain. Exhale, chest expansion. Inhale, extend a mountain. Exhale, swan, dive, forward fold, hip hinge. Woo, let's just rock it out here. Maybe walk the feet a little bit wider. Should feel good. Swaying the spine. Really melting the neck, the cheekbones, the head. Heavy feet. Inhaling halfway up, breathe the spine, the heart open. Exhaling, forward fold. Shift a little more into the soles of the feet. Keep the knees bent. Let's go ahead and step back with the right leg and then the left back into downward dog. Just getting me a little sip of water. As we come back into our downward dog, remember this is where we're going to pedal it out. Maybe really getting into that area around the sacrum here. Can you feel the belly even kind of sway open side to side, getting out of what should this look like? What does it feel like? Does it feel good to do this? Well, let's do that. Then we're gonna pause here. Let's go ahead and inhale, come forward into our kneeling plank, option for cat-cow. Exhaling, chaturanga, feeling our way to the mat. Find gravity, heavy feeling through the front of the body. Inhale, gentle cobra, option for locust, not an option to keep the neck relaxed. So exhaling back to the belly, everything melts to the earth. Hug everything in, knees down, scoop the belly. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, extended child's pose. Right away though, we're gonna tuck our toes back to our downward dog. Rocking right and left, checking in. Still have the ability to be flexible, to be fluid, to be creative. And then we're gonna stay over with the right leg heavy. Left leg, find the strings attached to the inner left thigh. Let those strings lift the left leg up. It's a levitation. It's a hovering, it's a floating into the heavens. Reaching the left heel super long, press back a little bit more. Let's bring the left leg out to the side, straight out to the side. Pause here calmly. Notice what's happening to the top of the neck, the shoulders, coming back through center calmly, what's happening to the hands. Are we ungrounding there? Exhale, left leg straight behind, looking underneath our right armpit. Inhaling back through center. Remember, you can do this from your knees. Exhale, bring the left knee in. Again, calmly scoop the belly. Left foot comes forward. Just may have to help it out, right? That's a tough move. Remember our blocks. Now let's pause here for just a second. We know where we're going on this one. Cirque du Soleil performance time. We appreciate how strong they are, and they don't move fast, right? That's not that hard. Slow, super hard. That's what we're practicing here. So let's keep that in mind. Remember, the right leg now falling asleep on us. You can bring it forward just a little bit as we shift into the left foot. So the left foot, we got to find those deep root system way through the floor through the left foot. Left leg super duper heavy. And then find that energy through the belly. Drag the toe in super slow. The right foot drags in. When it gets as far as we can, the right foot lifts up. Again, gentle ankle roll, squeeze open the toes. Pull it in, point the foot, scoop everything in. Inhaling, press left foot, left leg to right leg. Find that connection between the two legs across the sacrum. Exhale, bring it in, point the foot. Inhale, flex the foot, fan the toes. Supersize the strength in the legs. One more time, exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend it even longer. And then right foot comes, remember options. We can bring it behind, crisscross applesauce, or we can go ahead and bring it parallel if we know that's better for us. Let's just pause here. We can feel the right outer thigh, right to the side of the hip, down the IT band. Just get a nice release for a second. Check in, where are your inner feet at? Oh, well, they have become our outer feet. That's cool for the brain. Let me get back into the video here. And then slowly we're gonna bend our knees, walk our hands up to our thighs. Let's just pause, catch our breath. Let our vestibular system catch up, and then all the way up. Now, this is where we're gonna go ahead and take lateral flexion on this side. So the right arm comes up, find the inner right thigh, right? Find that deeper vine of who we are running along the bones. Relax the right arm, take it with the left hand and gently pull. Again, find the inner right side of the spine, deep in the belly, breathing tube there. Slowly unwinding really carefully here. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale into our nice strong chair. Remember, we're trying to shred them out apart with our feet like we're shredding chicken. Inner thighs rotate down, scoop the belly, calm strength, but the head stays relaxed. With our hands, let's imagine we're kind of holding the sun here in our hands. So feel the heat in our hands. Put that into a tiny little ball of energy. We're going to bring it into our heart center. Inhale, opening up. Wings to chest. Exhale, bring it in. Sinking back into our chair. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time, nice big inhale. Exhaling, let's go ahead and step out with the right foot. So we're gonna turn our toes to the corners of our mat. Now, move the blocks out of the way, keep them handy, maybe right in front here. You never know. You guys remember moon salutations, don't you, from level 2? I think they're still in level 2. Pretty sure they are, but I'll teach you them anyway. So super fun, and also an opportunity for us to get into the root chakra. So the root chakra, right? The color red, it's from the perineum floor down. That's what gets programmed from age 0 to 3. That's strong implicit programming. And, remember looking at those Romanian orphanages? Yeah. See, that's we're going to go back to the root chakra. All of us do. No one was parented perfectly. We're not throwing our parents under the bus. Oh my gosh, I don't want my kids to do that. I'm sure they're going to tell their therapist I ruined their lives one day. Okay, but we can redo that repair work, right? We have stories to work with, right? That's all that it is. Let's just look at what happened there really objectively, really contemplative. So from the root chakra, we want to imagine a red, like a ruby red cord running deep into the earth, right? This grounding cord through the tailbone here. I'm bending my knees, making sure I can still see my toes, right? I have that sort of suspension system feeling here, right? Not too tight, not too loose. Just that strong. We can move side to side if we wanted to. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Nice big breath. Exhaling, just moving into our moonflowers or sunflowers. Contrasting the experience, right, of heaviness as we bend, sinking through the hips. Remember that red, ruby red cord all the way down into the earth. Inhale, rising like the sun. Exhale, sinking like the moon. Different energy here, grounding, heavy, healing though. Inhale, expansive, creative, energetic, continuing to flow with those two different kind of feelings. Not just business as usual here. Now, the next time that we're going to sink down, we're going to pause here, right in our yogi squat, a little bit higher up, not going quite as low. Feel free to position blacks where you can use them because we will have the option to do balancing half moon, right? All right, so we pause here. Now we're going to pivot over to the right leg, carefully onto the sole of the left foot, right? Really carefully turning the right toes out. So inhale to crescent lunge. Feel the back body super strong here. Remember that sun in our hands as we hold it up. Nice big breath. Exhale, we're going to come forward. Now, right, we feel that moon energy, the heavy grounding energy into our pyramid. Keep the right knee slightly bent. Inhale, shifting forward. Take the block with the right hand if we want. Left hand to the left hip. Let's just gently open up, coming up into our balancing moon. Again, that expansive energy, but really a blending of the sun and the moon here, isn't it? It's a beautiful posture for that. We could just play with lifting the left toes up. We don't actually have to. Now, this is where it's going to get a little tricky. We want to bend the right knee, send the left foot out, right? Nice and slow, coming through center, very carefully here, back into our sunflowers, moonflowers. Now, you could take any one of those postures out. Maybe balancing half moon is just not working for you. It's fine. You could do a triangle there instead, really, actually, I think. Yeah, we'll look at it on the other side. We're working with those two different energies. We want to find that middle pathway for them. That's where the creative place is. That's right, the sunrises and the sunsets. The sun and the moon come together to create something magical and new. That's our Svadhisthana chakra. That's what doing root work does for us. The red, we go to the orange, right? Combine that with the yellow. Ooh, really powerful. And let's pause through center. Heavier feeling, toes stay light though. Right? Inhale, shift over to the left really carefully here into our crescent lunge. Sun through the palms of the hands. Your job is to place it into the sky. Your job. You are the sun placer. That's kind of important. We would like the sun, especially these days. Sunlight is great. Exhale, the moon sets. You can see it transition into night. Heavy feeling as we come forward. Now we're going to put the two together here in our balancing half moon as we shift into the left leg. Left hand finds the block. Inhale. Are you a sunrise? Are you a sunset? Same energies. Slightly different though, right? That's kind of cool. They're a blend. Exhaling, slowly drop the right foot, come really low, come through center. One more time each side. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe finding our Ujjayi breath. One more time, big inhale. Remember our choices. Exhale as we come through center. Inhaling, coming over to the right, crescent lunge. Again, placing the sun into the sky. Can you feel the heat? Exhale, the sun is setting. It comes over the horizon. We move tonight as we curl inward. Inhale, remember the option for triangle or coming into our balancing half moon as we move into a sunrise here. What is that feeling? That rising energy coming out of the night, coming into the light. And then as we exhale, bend the right knee, left foot comes down. We come through center again, inhaling and exhaling right away. Other side, crescent lunge, place the sun into the sky. Exhaling, let the sun set. Now it's night. See the twinkling stars, the deep dark night coming in, calm. Inhaling, we come back up. Now it's time. Sunrise, maybe a sunset here. Feel a difference. What is that? Oh, we need both. Exhaling again. One more time, coming back through center. Inhaling up into five-pointed star. Exhaling, sinking our hips. One more time, big inhale. We're going to do a couple of different energy exercises here. We're going to reach down. We're going to grab, right, from the earth, right, that red, ruby red. We're going to go up the chakras, right? So red up through orange. You can imagine the sun here energizing each one. It changes color though, right? Up to yellow, to green, to blue, ooh, to purple, to the top of the head. There's all those color stars, by the way. They see those suns with all those colors in the night sky. How amazing that would be to see all those different, right? Those different colors of suns. Holy cow. Now we're going to do what's called the Celtic cross here. All those colors are going to get swirled into a whirlpool. We go through purple and blue. We're crystallizing at each chakra, and green, the watercolors of yellow, down to orange, to red. Oh, maybe pink here at the floor. Let's do that again. Find the sun. It changes colors, red to orange, to yellow, to green, to blue, to purple, to all colors, to white. And now we're going to mix those up. Purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. All the way down. One more time. Inhaling. Exhaling, crossing at each point. Nice and slow. And releasing to the fullest. Turn our feet to parallel. Coming inward, rocking forward and back. Head heavy. Nice deep breath. Can you feel the lungs freer to breathe here? Let's just gently reach out with the left hand over to the outer right leg, drawing in. Again, nice deep breath. Exhaling, coming a little deeper. Slowly walking over the other direction. Reaching out with the right hand to the outer left leg. Again, gently coming in. And then slowly back through center. You're going to bring one knee down and then the other. I'm going to check and make sure this is still recording. I got a little weird message. It says it is. We're doing good. We're almost there. Back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Coming onto our knees, just like I said. So a gentle camel here. If you want to use a block, you can. It helps to stabilize, especially around the sacrum. So remember what we did. We're doing that lateral flexion. Let's do that same thing. Left arm comes up. We're going to take the right hand, find the left wrist, gently squeeze it. Again, finding that deep side of the spine here. Let that come to life in a new way. Can you feel really the deep part of the spine in the belly? Breathe you. Let it breathe you. And then slowly release, coming over the other way, finding the right wrist with the left hand. Again, gently squeezing the bra, keeping the back of the neck relaxed. Soften the jaws. And then again, back through center. We're going to sit the hips back. We're going to sit back onto the block. Yes. Left palm in our lap, right palm over it, thumbs gently touch. Just let the head melt in. Again, softening the jaws, soften the shoulders. Can you see all those colors swirling within you? Can you imagine yourself as a beautiful watercolor canvas of energy that the universe now gets to work with? Once we free up those old patterns, once we explore and accept ourselves as energetic beings, whew, the universe goes, cool. I have someone who I could create with. Wow, aren't we the fortunate ones? Seriously. And what a responsibility. What's the point of having this world if we can't be creative in it? If we can't do all those creative things, the universe wants to experience itself through us. All things. All possibilities are there, resting within us. The universe loves that. And then slowly shifting up. Let's go ahead and swing our legs around. We're coming right onto our back. So right as we get to the back, we're going to move into our psoas release. Now I'm getting just a sip of water here. So as we go ahead and find our right knee hugging in, let's keep our left foot grounded. Back to where we started here. Now we're going to extend the left leg long, and we're going to point, flex the foot, roll the ankle around, relax the neck. Remember the imaginary strings attached to the inner left thigh. We're going to slowly lift and lower here. Nice and slow. Should be kind of fatigued from that practice. That slow, heavy practice does that pretty quickly, so we don't have to do much here. Right, so nice and slow. We don't want to go too high. We're going to stay long through the left thigh. Now we're going to flex the left foot, fan the toes, turning the inner left thigh open to the ceiling. Let's keep the head, the neck relaxed. We're going to slide the leg out to the side. Doesn't have to go very far. And then dragging it back in as the inner left thigh stays open to the ceiling. Turning from the hip, toes move up to the 12 o'clock position, straight up to the ceiling. Opening the leg again, it moves from the hip, slow and controlled out to the side. What's happening? Are my shoulders tensing? What's happening, especially to the base of the neck right there. Oh, that's where I get a lot of it. One more time out to the side. Again, melt the front of the shoulder head, melt the jaws, the face, turn the toes. Let the heel gently come to the mat. Final thing, we're going to drag the left heel into the body as we bend the knee, super slow. We're going to shake, we're going to shimmy, we're supposed to. Getting back into the roots of movement, right? Almost learning to walk here. In fact, we're going to feel like kind of baby giraffes after the psoas shake. All those program movement patterns, very hard to find again. We're going to find new ones. Of course, we're sending the left heel out nice and slow. Can't go faster, it's not going to work. Now you're going to do that 2 more times at your own slow pace. We're not doing it just to do some weird leg movement. We're actually trying to get into that deeper psoas line where our program memories are, to explore our habits, our patterns. We call those samskaras in yoga. Nice deep breath. Can the belly stay relaxed? Remember, we want that clear, open sky, expanded branches and canopy feeling constantly through the chest, the face, the top of the head. The last time it comes in, no rush. We're just going to rock side to side. We got to do the other side. All right. Left knee hugs in, extending the right leg long. Again, heavy through the back. Relax through the neck, point, flex the foot. As we reach the ball, the right foot, we're going to slowly find strings attached deep to the inner right thigh. And we're just lifting and lowering just a couple of inches at most. We're trying to find those deep emotional lines to the body. They nestle right up, especially to the inner thigh. Remember, it comes up across the hip flexor. You can really feel it there. Dives deep in the pelvic floor, up to the side of the spine, called the psoas, up behind the right side of the heart, to the arm, the shoulder, and then up to the mastoid process in the jaw. So as we poke this animal tiger that protects us in there, notice where that tension goes, right? We're just trying to find our own habits. Now we're going to flex the foot. Remember, we're going to turn the inner right thigh open to the ceiling. We're going to slide it out. We're going to slide it back in, moving calmly from the hip. Rotate the toes back to the top, turning like a dial out to the side. Again, what's happening? Mine go right in front of my shoulders. Oh my gosh, it happens so quick. Just noticing. And one more time, use your breath to stay calm and present. What pattern can we become aware of? What pattern can we choose to come out of? Staying calm and relaxed. Right heel presses down. Last thing, 3 times in and out at your own slow pace. Each side very different. If you go fast, which the mind wants to tell you to do that right now, don't do it. Those are just going into the autopilot movements. Nothing really new to explore there. Those are old chapters in the book. And you know, sometimes I like to read my old books. I've read Pride and Prejudice 20 times. I'll admit it. I love it. There's something comforting about our old stories, isn't it? But we're not getting rid of these old stories. We're adding to them, right? You know, they hold control over us, and we just, you know, keep like a loop, a bad loop on a computer that we can't get out of. We want to create new stories. We can always go back and revisit. I can pull up Pride and Prejudice, but I'd like a fun new story, right? Bring it into the present moment. Here we go, final time. Again, no rush. This time, let's go ahead and bring the feet flat, arms out to the side, windshield wiper slowly side to side. Deep, soft feeling through the belly. Remember that swishing water feeling here from the belly And then let the legs be like waves in the ocean as they crash side to side, heavy across the sacrum. Nice, slow, relaxed. Now bringing the soles of the feet together, butterfly. This is where we're going to lift our hips up. All right, we're going to do that for just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to just count that in my head. So feeling the feet together. As we lift the hips, we're just hovering here. We're not squinching with the butt. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. I'm using my technology, my Alexa. Yes, I have a relationship with my Alexa. All right, so letting the hips rock maybe a little bit, exploring, staying relaxed here through the glutes. We're not trying to hold this with tension. We're actually trying to relax it. And so you're going to feel maybe some tension happening deep through the inner thigh, right? Now, if you're choosing not to do that, it's totally fine. You can keep the hips down, just stay in restorative butterfly, listening to the cues. This leads us into the butterfly shake. I'm going to do sort of an abbreviated version of this because I like to get to the guppy exercise and then healing the inner child meditation to finish. This is useful to kind of bring to the surface, like sludge to the surface, shaking out the poison, the toxic programming that's not helping us, that is predetermining our movement patterns and maybe to not healthy things. I'll be honest, I have that. And so, all right, well, how do I get out of that? It's tough. It's a tough thing. I'm not going to lie. We're trying to change patterns that have been with us for a long time, intergenerational trauma. So let's just be kind and compassionate. Maybe we explore just a little bit of different feeling today. Maybe we're willing to look at some of those old things from our childhood. What kind of defenses did you have to take to survive in your childhood? Did you have to placate people? Did you run away to your room? Did you reorganize your furniture in your room a million times? My sister actually did that. It's a control thing, it's fine. Did you go off in your head? Were you very creative, right? Did you draw? Did you paint in a creative way? Did you write books? There's some gifts of trauma there, right? There's some gifts of having to protect ourselves. Or were you taking action? Were you a fighter in your life? Did you have to get a job, right? Did you have to organize a household? Did you have to get up and cook for everybody? Did you have to make sure everybody was okay? Were you a parent before you needed to be or should have been? Were you allowed to be a child? Were you seen for who you are, that beautiful, loving, creative force, and taken care of and protective as you should have been? Maybe not. We can do that for ourselves right now. We can hold the space. I can hold the space for that. Oh, the timer went off. Alexa, timer off. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. So now we're going to slowly close the legs, just like a butterfly. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. Sometimes Alexa doesn't listen to me, kind of like my kids. So we're going to imagine these two magnetic forces between the two. So there has to be kind of a resistance. So the hips are down, the feet are down. You know, you try to close blinds, it won't really go together, kind of that like this, oh. And so mine are shaking because that's just what they do. They know this process pretty well. Yours may not. It may start as a little tremble, may not start at all. It's okay. You want to, again, have that magnets, like they want to get together, but they can't feel it between the legs. And then use your breath. Stay present in your belly. Stay calm and relaxed, right? Let the need to control your body go for just a little bit. That is scary, and I get that, but it's okay. This is a complete letting go, right? This is sort of a controlled release, letting the steam out a little bit. And we hold a lot of those patterns, that high allostatic load, we call it, right? Down through the legs. That's where a lot of that sympathetic, unresolved nervous system energy lies. Letting it go. Could you not run away from your homes and you wanted to? Could you not fight for yourself? Alexa, timer off. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. We're closing the legs. 2 more inches. We're not releasing that. Right? Alexa, timer off. Closing a little bit more. The legs may really start to shake and shimmy now, right? And they can look anything. One leg may be doing one thing, another leg may be doing something else. I've had that happen. The movement of energy may want to start to flow up from the belly. What's happening? Does it stop here? Mine usually stops right here until I say, you're free. And you can feel that energetic move because my gut goes, I don't know if we want to feel this, Shay, sometimes. And don't worry, you don't have to be a story about what's letting go here. It could just be, man, things have been kind of tense and tight the last month or two, right? However long we've been in this place. It's all right. Right? There's sometimes we have to move into sympathetic. And it's there when we need to, but we have to let it go as well. That's as natural as moving into a defensive posture, is moving out of it when we're held and protected. That's what the good attachment that we can have, those good relationships, the repair work we do in our relationships, allow us then to navigate into this different world where we're going to have these sympathetic. Alexa, timer off. Last time, closing it even more. We're not letting it go. Alexa, timer off. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute. I have to talk nice to Alexa, right? Like we're talking to ourselves. And so let's just allow ourselves to release whatever we need to. Energetically, this should feel good, right? Again, a little or a lot could be erratic. Mine's kind of doing weird stuff. It says, listen, what is happening? I don't know. You may start to laugh uncontrollably. There might be tears that need to happen. It's a cathartic release that's happening here for all of us. We need it. We've got to reset more these days, right? Just clean that energetic slate. The nervous system is holding on for too much, for too long. Use your breath to stay calm, to stay present. We only have a little bit of time left here. Let's make the most of it. What can you allow your body to experience, to release, to feel? Nice, deep belly breaths. No matter what's happening, we're okay. We're in a safe space. We're connected with each other. We'll get to process together here in a little bit. And then very slowly, when we're ready, because the time is up, let's go ahead and set our feet flat, and the shaking may continue. Don't force the legs to do anything. Just stay grounded through the feet like a grounding wire. You know how you charge your car? You got to have that black grounding cord down. I learned that the hard way, by the way. That's a separate story. But here we got to let the earth take this energy from our legs to our feet. So imagine those deep roots through the toes, to the feet, right? Find the water table about 2 inches below the feet. Let the roots drive deep in there. Release what we need to. Let us hold this like a lateral enmeshment of safety between us, between our friends in this workshop, the new friends we're making. From me to you, I can hold a lot of space. I've done a lot of work. I'm here for you. You have people in your life that are there for you. There's someone. Can you bring into your mind's eye, maybe bringing our hands to our belly? Our legs are going to continue to do whatever. Can you bring into your mind's eye the person who looked at you with love growing up? And you know what? Maybe it was an animal. Maybe it was an imaginary friend. Maybe it was God or Jesus or your deity of choice, or just anything, nature. Maybe you looked at yourself. You were your own best friend. We survived somehow because somebody looked at us with loving eyes. I always call and thank Mr. Rogers, who was there for me as a kind of a latchkey kid. No one was home, childhood divorce, sort of your typical traumas, but they're still mine. And it was hard to come home and be by myself. And I turned on the TV and Mr. Rogers was there. Oh, the same way every time, smiling at me, making me feel better, acknowledging my deep hurts, those difficult feelings I didn't understand. He helped me process those. I'm so grateful to him. So many, right? We're very helped by Mr. Where's Mr. Rogers now? Where is he? Oh, we need him. Let's roll onto our side for just a second into our fetal C posture. Feeling comforted, we can comfort ourselves. If I was there with you, I'd put my hand on your shoulder with permission, of course. Maybe one hand on your shoulder, maybe gently on your hip, and gently rock you like we rock a cradle baby until they're calm. And I don't mean that you're a baby, I know that. What comforting action. Maybe we can imagine a nice heavy blanket being put over us. Those weighted blankets are really nice. What color is that blanket? What's the texture of it? Finding our awareness deep to the side of the spine, whichever side is closest to the earth. Can you let the spine yield to gravity here? Just let it melt into the earth a little bit more. Now we're going to come onto our back for the guppy release. So I want you to think about your jaws. You're at home by yourself, this is a perfect place, right? Or you want to go into a dark room, right? Or close your eyes. I'm going to show you, but we're going to make the mouth. I'll have to sit up to show you. You stay laying down. We're going to make the mouth just like a guppy. So nice and slow. We're going to open and close. Nice and slow. I know it looks weird. That's what we're doing at home by ourselves. So from here, we'll open. You gotta keep going slow, slow. It may start to get a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. I'm not doing it, but I'm showing you like this. Now, eventually it gets big and we let it go. Think of like kind of a jaw just gone rogue, right? It's gonna go all sorts of ways. You may feel it move out to the side of her. I'm showing what mine does when I let it go like that. I can't actually do it now because I'm talking you through it. If I would, you have to go slow. If you kind of If you just immediately go big, it's not going to do that, right? That's slow, slow. So the mastoid process, and you're continuing to do it while I talk, the mastoid process is where we hold those unconscious tension, because it's fight, flight, and bite, right? It's that old reptile biting here, and we hold a lot of it up here, especially women, I find. We're like, oh, I want to say something, but I can't. A lot of jaws looking like this. This is a time to release, right? And so it may look really weird right now. I'm doing some really wacky stuff. Cool. Wacky's cool. We embrace wacky, especially in this program, and especially if you know me, right? Let's find something different. Let's release something here. You may be surprised. Do you grind your teeth? Do you get TMJ, lockjaw? Do you get headaches? Yeah, right. I do too. I grind my teeth at night bad. I denied it for a while. I'm a teeth grounder. Oof, letting that go. So no matter what's happening, continuing to allow it to move, whatever manner is. It may start to chatter, it may go side to side, maybe big movements, maybe nothing. It's okay. You can practice this on your own. We're going to go do small guppy. Come back to that small little guppy. Now, when you're ready, we're going to slowly let the jaw just relax. So you can come out of that anytime that you want, anytime that you want. As you roll back onto your back, come back into constructive rest posture. What is that? That's with our knees bent. We're going to bring our hands to our belly. Nice deep breath. Drop into our belly. Can you really feel the hands to the belly? Shoulders relax. So you could take any posture that you want. You can have the legs straight. You could go back onto your side, or you can lay on your belly for Shavasana. As I do a guided meditation, this is healing the inner child. Don't be afraid of this. We've really tilled the soil of those old programs. You may already have some memories from childhood coming up. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have a lot of stories there. That's very common as well. So going back to, let's first of all use our skills. We want to come back to this idea of calm strength. Find that imagery of a tree, right? The deep root system, the calm strength running through our legs, right? The trunk up, the spine is kind of the trunk. We feel that expansion through the heart soft and open, up through the top of the head. Now, if it's more comfortable, hands can be anywhere, or again, back onto the belly, or one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Now, I want you to bring to mind's eye that same person, animal, imaginary friend who looked at you with love, who loved you into being, who looked at you with love when you were born. Someone did, or you really wouldn't be here. Someone did enough anyways. Let's just think about, not see my face. I look at you with love. I will see you with love, unconditional love. Now we're going to take a journey. We're going to travel, going back to our childhood homes. I had a lot of them. I was in the military, so it's hard, like which one? Well, it can be just any kind of room. If you want to just give it your own room. If you had many homes and you don't remember, it's okay. Make one up, it's all right. But let's go back. Maybe we can find one of those homes and go back to that place. What was the temperature there in that place? Was there a smell in your house? Who was there? What people did you grow up with? Who stood out? Or maybe who wasn't there? And then we want to look from that room to a hallway. There's a hallway we can go down. There's a new home here. We're going to walk to that hallway. We're going to go to see lots of doors down this hallway. There's lots of memories from my childhood. Maybe there's one that stands out that we need to really look at right now, or one that we're willing to look at. And that's the door we're going to go open. Very carefully, very slowly, with a lot of this strength, remember, with a lot of this knowing that we are loved and we are well. Remember, this is a choice to walk into this room. When we do so with just loving eyes for ourselves. And we're going to open the door, and we're going to see the thing that we've been trying not to see our lives. Can we see that scared child, that hurt child, that anxious child, that neglected child, whatever age? When did the hurt happen to you? I'm sorry, it shouldn't have. But you're not alone in the room. You're not re-experiencing this. Your adult self and the person who loves you, me. You can put me in the doorway with your adult self. I'll hold your hand through this. And now we're going to look at that child and say, you did great. You did perfect. You did exactly what you needed to do to survive, or you wouldn't be here. Aren't you amazing? You are so strong. I'm so proud of you. You did well, and I love you. Thank you. Because of you, I'm here today. I'm able to take this class. I'm able to help others. That thing did not destroy you, it made you stronger. It made you more creative and compassionate, empathetic. Bowing to that. Put your hands around your child self. Big hug. I'll do that. Big hug to that child. Did so good. So much love for all of you and what you've gone through, how strong you are. We're not tough, bad people. We're strong, empathetic people. It's made us strong in the most loving way. Slowly, when we're ready, walking out of that room, shutting the door. We may need to revisit it again. And maybe we just peeked in that room. Maybe it was too much to go into that room right now. I'm proud of you for even thinking about the room, to be truthful. And then slowly coming back into our bodies. Calm strength, calm strength. Bring the image of the tree, the person who loved you. I love you. You can pause this. Stay in Shavasana for 10 more minutes. Process what you need to. We're going to come back and process together. Remember, we don't have to talk to heal. We have to feel to heal. Nice deep breath and then just let it go. Namaste, and I will see you back here in about 15 minutes.